big man! Oh, it's pretty! It's so pretty!
Nick Pereira has himself a weekend to remember as he smashes records for the Tacoma Stars, and the chase for 400 regular season points continues. Could Gibson or Taiu get there? This is MASL Primetime. What's up, everyone? I'm Alex Bastivansky. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in today. And you know, one of the biggest turnarounds we've seen this season from any team has been that of the Dallas Sidekicks. Now, consider this. The boys in green dropped their first 3 games of the campaign, getting outscored 22-11 in the process. But then a coaching change and some big-time signings spurred a resurgence that saw the Sidekicks win 3 straight to even up its record. They've been fun, they've been inspiring, they've been rolling, and Kansas City had every intention of spoiling the party when they faced Big D last weekend. Dallas may have been on a 3-game winning streak, but KC was undefeated 5-0 on the season, and Leo Gibson crawls ever closer to 400 points. He opens the scoring, and then a beauty by his teammate.
And there's Togba. Nice move at the shot, and there's the goal from James Togba. That's his 3rd goal of the season. Now he's got 3 points.
Oh, gorgeous. Dallas trailed 2-0 in the second quarter when Sebastian Mendez pulls off some sweet moves himself and cuts the deficit to a single goal. KC got another one back, but then Julio Varela, look at this effort, steals it, the pass to himself, and the finish. Big D pulling to within 3-2, but then Leo the Legend goes to work.
Juan Gamboa. Here's Leo Gibson again. Oh, and what a play. Leo Gibson plays it off to number 31, Christian Anderus, and my goodness.
Gibson 2 points in the game. We'll check his totals afterwards. Second half, KC pulls away. Lucas Souza crushing the offering. Nothing Juan Gamboa can do about it. So the Comets managed to rein in Dallas, who'd been playing so well. KC now 6-0 on the season. Ontario in San Diego for the 2nd straight weekend, and the Sockers hit first. Look at this masterpiece from Craig Childs. Absolutely gorgeous header. And then
she'll play for Ontario. Stolen Escoto. Spun. Leo. Tavoy. Gotta be a goal.
Spectacular passing by the Sockers, and they kept coming. Christian Gutierrez, the feathery touch to make it 4-1 San Diego. They were cruising up 5-1 when it all falls apart. Jesus Pacheco knocks home the rebound to make it 5-2. Second half, Justin Stinson with one of the goals of the week. It was 5-3, and you could just feel the life draining out of the Sockers. Fourth quarter, San Diego up 5-4. They managed to make it 6-4 off that Brandon Escoto beauty. The Fury would get one back, though, and then Juan Tepete ties it up. This one was off to overtime.
Now wide open, De Leon with Taiu. He tripped on himself. Now he's back, and he's scoring, and the game is over. And an 8-7 Ontario is your final score.
Unreal. San Diego at one point was up 5-1, but they just couldn't hold it. Big comeback by Ontario. Now, Frank Taiu was held to just a single point in the game. That means in his last 2 games, he's got a grand total of 1 point. He needed 3 points in 2 games to hit 400 regular season points. Still 2 points away now. His next game, January 16th, again against the San Diego Sockers. Now, as for Leo Gibson, he's 8 points away, but heck, Nick Pereira had 9 points in a game this weekend, as you're about to see, so anything's possible. Nick and his Tacoma Stars hosted St. Louis for 2 games last weekend. This was the first of the 2. Just 31 seconds in, Vadim Kojakov drawing first blood for the ambush. Second quarter, up by a deuce, Nico Caritas hammers that offering past Danny Waltman to make it 3-0 St. Louis. Now, Nick Pereira, as mentioned, had a huge weekend. He gets the Stars on the board just before halftime right there. Second half, though, St. Louis, relentless. Pepe Junquera knocks home the second chance, and the ambush go up by a 3 spot. And then on the odd man rush, poor Danny Waltman getting hung out to dry by his teammates. Richard Sherman making it 5-1 for the visitors. Inside the final minute of the quarter, Alessandro Canali gets it to go, and the Stars pull to within 3. St. Louis puts it out of reach in the 4th, though. Mo Ndiaye to Ado Jokic on the doorstep. 6-2 ambush at that point. Tacoma lose the battle, but not the war, as they knew they would face them again on Sunday, but they dropped this one by a 7-3 final score. Okay, top scorers. Leo Gibson tied at the top now with Nick Pereira, who, as you will see, had an incredible second game against St. Louis, followed by Ian Bennett, Mo Ndiaye, and Luis Morales of the Dallas Sidekicks. Hey, welcome back to Primetime, everyone. So last season was a big step forward for the St. Louis Ambush. The club made the postseason for the first time in its MASL existence. Okay, so every team made the playoffs last year since only 7 organizations were able to compete. But in all seriousness, the Ambush did post a winning record for the first time ever, which is saying something considering just how competitive the league was last season. Well, this year, St. Louis has been building on that experience, and they've been looking pretty good so far. We take a closer look at the Ambush today in our Primetime Spotlights.
Middle fielder right there waiting for it. He springs it loose. Thomas with plenty of real estate. Thomas against Netco, gives you a Brandon in! It's
The excitement is off the charts this year in St. Louis, building on a campaign in 2021 that saw the Ambush qualify for the postseason and post a winning record for the first time in the MASL.
Yeah, last season was definitely a crazy season. Luckily here in St. Louis, we were able to have a season. Really benefit, the talent, benefit the players. But then, and I think it just helps us going forward on kind of how we build a tradition here in St. Louis. Reaching the playoffs last year, that was a huge step for us, and hopefully leading us into a good season this coming season too.
With an influx of new players on the roster, the squad is still developing the all-important chemistry that's needed.
It's taken a little bit of time to get the guys to go ahead and gel. We brought in 10 new players from last season. Looked at kind of what I want to consider to be a little bit of a youth movement within the squad. So getting those players to gel has been it's been fun. It's been interesting. I think we've had some good games. We've had some bad games, and I think that's what we're going to see going forward.
Week 6 of play was a perfect example of what Jeff Locker is talking about. A road trip to Tacoma brought out both sides of the team. A big win on Friday, a big loss on Sunday. But one new addition that's been a constant threat is leading scorer Mo Ndiaye, who last played with Baltimore 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, I think Muhammad's done a phenomenal job coming into the season, adapting to the team. He's a big, strong presence.
And getting the experience, Mo Ndiaye!
If you look at what he does with his body, how he moves off the ball, he just does a great job of getting there. And, he's been a breath of fresh air for us and getting some goals, so it's been nice.
There's no shortage of offensive weapons. Vadim Kojikov is averaging over a point per game. Ado Jokic has been lethal as well. And Ambush veteran JT Thomas just continues to produce.
Touched over to JT, the shot, he scores! The Englishman JT Thomas wins it in overtime.
JT is an ultimate professional for us. He has been working hard in the offseason. He was one of the leaders all of offseason, organizing the guys, getting the guys to come together early on. JT's just been working really, really, really hard, and I think it shows in JT's play.
Locker also praises midfielder Lucas Almeida, now in his 7th year with the Ambush.
Lucas has been a long-term leader for this squad. We've missed him in some of the early games. He's been integral in kind of getting the players to gel now. And I think going forward, having Lucas in the lineup for us is going to be huge.
St. Louis had a surprise coaching change recently with the abrupt resignation of bench boss Greg Muir. Jeff Locker has been filling in as interim coach, and he's optimistic as to what this team can accomplish once the squad gels completely.
I think we will be in the playoffs. Just the way that the team's coming together is going to be huge. And I think the better we play, the more fan support we're going to have here in St. Louis, and we're going to build some good momentum.
Okay, so the ambush took round 1 against Tacoma on Friday, but the Stars were up for the rematch. And Nick Pereira, he set records in this game.
Pereira slips it through and scores! Nick Pereira caught everybody watching.
Nick opens the scoring for Tacoma. They made it 2-0, and then Alessandro Canale gets in on the fun. Stars up 3-0, then Pereira, beauty. The toe poke. And this man didn't slow down in the second.
Through a quarter and a third.
No, everything.
Pereira and another goal! Nick Pereira bags his hat trick, and he only needed 16 minutes to do it.
So Nick had 9 points on the day. 9. 6 goals, 3 assists. St. Louis finally gets on the board. Robert Cristo makes it 7-1, but then my captain, Michael Ramos, puts the Stars up 8-1. They ran away with this one. 15-5 for Tacoma as they take the rematch big time. Hey, welcome back to Primetime, everyone. So we're about a month and a half into the season so far, and joining me today to talk about some of the stuff that's gone down up to this point is San Diego Soccer's broadcaster, Craig Elston. Craig, how goes it, man?
Every day that I get the chance to talk indoor soccer, it's a great day.
Awesome, man. Well, it's great to be talking to you, and it's actually a quick segment this week, so let's get right to it. Just the season up to this point, biggest storyline so far in your opinion?
For me, the biggest storyline of this young season is the rise of Kansas City. The Comets made it to the semifinals in a smaller field last year, but coming back 18 points in the books already. The Central looks like a place where they may be able to harvest some more points. So a great chance for Kansas City to pursue that number 1 seed. And of course, that's so important in the newly reformatted playoffs.
Craig, I felt like a kid in a candy store being able to watch the chase for 400 regular season points going on between KC's Leo Gibson and Ontario's Frank Taillou. It's just added a whole different level of excitement, hasn't it?
It really has. And we have to have some thanks for our Sockers to continue the chase and the race for 400 because it looked like Taillou would have that all cinched up. Personally, I'd love to see the MASL recognize the stats of the leagues that merged together to become this great league, the MISL 3 and the PASL, because out here in the West, our captain, Craig Childs, just got his 591st career point combined. We're out on the race to 600, but hey, the race to 400, it's been a lot of fun here in the MASL.
Right on, man. Okay, so let's do some quick rapid-fire question answers here. Let's start with biggest surprise of the season so far in your mind?
No question, it's Milwaukee coming out of the chute 0-5 or 0-4-1. Wave have had some bad luck. They've had some guys missing, especially Josh Lemos in net, but now they've got a lot of work to do to make the playoffs.
Okay, most impressive team or teams so far this season, if you can't pick just one?
On one side, you want to say the Sidekicks because they had a huge turnaround. On another, I could point right back to Kansas City. But I'm going to give the answer of Florida here. Tropics are rolling. They have been winning, beating their divisional opponents. Taylor Bond, a nice step in for Ian Bennett. I think they're the force in the East.
Okay, and finally, a very, very premature discussion about the most valuable player. If the season were to end today, who would be your choice for league MVP?
Yeah, I was around a season where it kind of ended today. I don't want any of that to happen. I want the season to finish. But if it did, my answer right now, I'd go back to Kansas City. They're 6-0, and I'd look to the guy in net, Nicolau Neto. He's been 6-0. He's been an absolute horse. I'd have maybe a dark horse. Well, it's got to always be Frank Taillou. He's always in the conversation.
Craig, you are the man. We are all out of time, unfortunately. We've got to go to break, but thank you so much for doing this today, and we will definitely have you on later on in the season. Take care, man.
To all the great fans of indoor soccer, have a terrific week.
Okay, so the players of the month were announced for December, and the man that Craig just mentioned is the defensive player of the month, Nicolau Neto, the keeper for the KC Comets. He was perfect, 5-0 in December with a 4.60 goals against average and .761 save percentage. He has been a rock star between the posts for KC. Ian Bennett of the Milwaukee Wave earned the offensive player of the month honor. The reigning MASL MVP played like a man possessed. 10 goals, 4 assists in December, and Bennett now sits third in league scoring, just 2 points off the pace. Hey, welcome back to Primetime, everyone. Two teams that were really chomping at the bit to get going last weekend were Baltimore and Harrisburg. Now, both squads had numerous game postponements due to COVID-19 protocols. Heck, Harrisburg had only played twice since the season kicked off back in late November. So these were two well-rested teams when they faced off on Saturday. Harrisburg had yet to win so far on the season. Now, when Dominic Francis was on the show last week, he was kind of, but not really, joking that he'd be leading his team soon in goal scoring.
Good ball, Francis, shot and a goal!
Yeah, he wasn't really kidding. Unreal shot from the sniper to make it 1-0 Heat. Keeper William Benahaney coming up huge for the Heat early on, making multiple big stops to keep Baltimore at bay. It was 2-0 in the second quarter when Jonatas Mello finally gets the blast on the board, but the Heat strike back. Luis Brambilla with the marker right there. Now, Harrisburg was up 4-1 at one point, but it was all blast after that. Lucas Roque cuts it to 4-2. It was 4-3 when Mello notches his second of the day to even up the proceedings, and then Mello lays it back for Roque, who goes 5-hole. And the Blast had its first lead of the day, up 5-4. They would never relinquish it. Nelson Santana at the back post, the easy tap-in. And Baltimore wins this one going away. Now, Dominic Francis, 3 goals on the day, but in a losing cause for the Heat. Okay, Utica got pounded by Florida the previous weekend. They were trying to bounce back, just 41 seconds in, though. One of the ugliest goals you will ever see in arena soccer, but they all count the same. 1-0 Florida. Utica evens it up. Mo Gonzalez goes through half the Tropics on the floor. Beauty. 1-1 after the first. In the second, tough break for UCFC as the deflection goes up, over, and in. Victor Pereira's his second of the day. Yet again, though, Utica coming back. The ball pinballing around. Finally, Bo Yelovats smacks it home to tie it at 2. Second half, though, FLA would take the lead and never relinquish it. Drew Ruggles right on the doorstep to make it 3-2. And in the fourth, Benavier Espinal on the rush here. Watch this as he goes barred down. Nice to give the Tropics some insurance. More than enough on this day as they take down Utica for the second straight weekend. UCFC staying close for most of this game, though, but just can't get that offense clicking. Okay, standings. Let's see where everyone sits. KC flawless so far at 6-0 in the Central, followed by Dallas, St. Louis, and Milwaukee. Still hard to believe they haven't picked up a win as of yet. In the East, Florida 5-1, followed by Baltimore, Utica 2-4, and Harrisburg yet to garner a W on the season. Out west, San Diego, first blemish on its record now with the overtime loss to Ontario, followed by Tacoma and Chihuahua. Okay, primetime players for last week. The offensive player of the week, Nick Pereira of Tacoma. Not a shock, as Nick sets a new Tacoma single game record with 9 points. 9 in a single game. 10 points total for the week. Congratulations, Nick. What an incredible performance. And your defensive player of the week. Second time this year he's won it. The keeper for the Florida Tropics, Hugo Silva. 15 saves, just 2 goals against. in that game against Utica City to pick up the W for Hugo, who's having a heck of a season so far. Plays of the week now.
Pereira drifting, pulls it back, shovels inside and scores the little toe poke.
The referee is saying, and there's the pick. Nice job, Varela, and the shot. What an individual play.
Just turns, good cutback shot. Vanahene with the save. Quick restart by the Blast. Hughes in front, shot. Save by Vanahene again.
And there's Togba. Nice move and shot, and there's the goal from James Togba.
Cardinals looking for Giles, his header, goal!
Practical though as well, not just for show.
Look out here.
Oh, what a goal.
What a goal for Stinson.
He's taking a regular shift here. Thought it would be more of a spot shift. Gonzalez into the box, shot and a goal.
Juan Gamboa. Here's Leo Gibson again. Oh, and what a play. Leo Gibson plays it off to number 31, Christian Andrews.
Ball through to Sandoval, needs to tee it up in a hurry, shot and a goal!
And the power play is over. And the goal, unbelievable. Number 7, Lucas Souza.
Knocker with a crucial play for Ontario.
Stolen Escoto. Spun. Leo. Tavoy. Gotta be a goal. Morgan doing the dance.
And that's all the time we've got for this week's show. But just a reminder, of course, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the MASL, all the latest news, statistics, fantastic feature stories as well by our MASL writers. Be sure to check out all of the league's social media outlets. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.